Hi, I'm Rachel Doherty from Tweens to Teen, and I'm answering an Ask the Expert question from a single mum of 3 kids who's finding one of their kids difficult to manage. This parent says their child can be selfish and narcissistic, argues about everything, and tries to manipulate situations so they're number one in the family. Putting it simply, if they're not happy, then nobody in the house is. These are all signs of a strong-willed child. There can be lots of negatives about raising one of these kids. They're definitely hard work, but there are also some positives as well. They can be tenacious kids. They persevere at things others give up on. They're curious and need to know the why about everything. As a parent, they really force you to be the best you can be, to have clear boundaries and maintain your expectations every single day. So what can you do if one of your kids seems to be ruling the roost and making everyone else's life misery? I've got 3 tips. Firstly, you need to make sure your home is a place of equal love. For kids who tend to be a bit narcissistic or self-centered, they need to understand that love isn't earned or dependent on birth order. It's just something everyone gets in your home. No matter how good or bad your kids behave, they need to understand you love them regardless. The easiest way to show that is by having some good routines. A nice wake-up routine, a snuggle time before bed, the conversations in the car, and eating meals at the table and inviting everyone to share about their day. These are great ways to show your kids that you love them. Another way to show this equal love is to be mindful of encouraging your kids' individual differences. Make time just about every day to give your kids a hug and tell them what you admire about them, how you've noticed their eyes light up about something that interests them, and ask them some questions that no one else would be interested in. It's these moments of undivided attention that will cement your love more than fancy date nights or that quality time. Another thing you can do to keep your dominant child in check is having very clear expectations in the house. And everyone needs to uphold them, including you. These kids are looking for boundaries and will check them over and over again to see if they're still there. You can't afford to have a day off from the rules, at least not until they're well through the teenage years, because these kids need consistency. There's a sort of insecurity in these kids. So by being consistent in your family expectations, you'll make life less stressful for them. Be clear about what behaviour you expect and always have the same consequences. If they're being sassy when talking to you, send them to their room until they can come and talk to you nicely. Hold on to the power you have as a parent. When it comes to money, friends coming over, going on outings or driving them places, use that to make sure they behave appropriately. Another important thing when parenting these kids is to not let their emotions regulate yours. When you're raising tweens and teens, you need to expect lots of drama, big emotions that are used to sway things their way. Just don't play that game. Talk in a quiet voice. Keep control of your body and your temper. If they're pressing your buttons, tell them you need to think about it and you'll come back to them when you have an answer. Then go and do something they aren't likely to follow you to. Hang out some washing or tidy up the kitchen. If they try to keep arguing, explain that you're not going to talk to them until the job is finished, so they're welcome to help you out, or they can wait until you're finished. You know, most of them will nick off and leave you to it, sharing their sentiments as they go. One last thing to remember is that life is about ups and downs. None of us get to be on holidays all the time and go from one exciting thing to another. Our kids have to learn that much of life is about doing what we need to do so we can do something we want to do. Don't feel like you have to be the entertainment officer on your family cruise ship, keeping the paying customers happy. Say no without feeling guilty. Let your kids be bored and leave them to work out what they're going to do. When they get disappointed about something, show them empathy, but don't rush to fix it. Raising strong-willed kids needs an extra layer of determination and strength to maintain your sanity as a parent. But like most things in life, if you work hard in the early years, you'll find it pays off in the long run. Creating a home where people know they're loved, they know the rules and they can live with the consequences will lead to harmony in the long run. And if today's been a bad day, admit that to the kids and start fresh tomorrow. They'll welcome that too.